What's up, North Raleigh Bourbon Club? Bourbon Bros. I hope everybody's doing awesome. Look, folks, we did a bourbon review that we just launched. And as you can tell in the background, I've got quite a few bottles of bourbon. Been drinking bourbon for a couple years now. Huge shout out to our club for just having good friends and great bourbon. But look, folks, my palate has changed a lot over the years. When I first started drinking bourbon, I like the lower proof bourbon with a little bit of water, a little bit of ice. But as I've progressed and my palate has changed, I've noticed that I'm liking bourbons a little bit different, a little bit higher proof, maybe between the 110 to 115, and I just like it neat. There's no other way I want to drink bourbon, right? So been drinking bourbon for a while. I will tell you that consistently I have really enjoyed Buffalo Trace products. Not just because of all the crazy marketing they do, but I just like their products. I like what they put out. But there is a bourbon, and I thought really long and hard about doing this video because it's a big statement. There is a bourbon that has recently been released, and it's one we did a review on the other night, that I think has claimed the #1 spot for me as my top rated bourbon that I've ever had. Now, I've had the Pappies, the Wellers, the George T. Staggs, the Thomas Handys. I've had them all. I've tried them, right? But there's something about this bourbon that I'm about to tell you about here in a second that just absolutely blew me away. And the crazy part is this bourbon is a new release. It's 133 proof, which is higher than I typically like it. But there was something about this bourbon that just stuck with me, and I love it. And it's one of those bourbons you have to have a backup. It's about $80, and it's something we just did a review on. But hey, if you're loving our reviews, please be sure to head over to our videos and check them all out. We do a ton of bourbon reviews. We have the movie Neat. It's under the live section of our YouTube channel. So go check them out. Our role and what we want to do is we want to review bourbons. So before you go out and try them, you're like, the Bourbon Boys, you know, they had 12, 13 guys that tried it, and here's how they rated it. So maybe I should get it. So I got to tell y'all, I'm pretty excited to do this. I'm kind of nervous because making a big statement as my favorite bourbon that I've had so far is a pretty big statement. But I got to tell you, this bad boy right here, this Elijah Craig C923, weighing in at 133 proof, 13 years, 7 months, has moved to the top of my list as my top bourbon that I've had. I got to tell you, folks, this bourbon, to me, and Brent, who's another one of our members, talked about this too. This bourbon drinks a lot like George T. Stagg. Not Stagg Jr., George T. I actually preferred this over Stagg Jr. They're about the same heat, 133 proof. I think Stagg Jr. is about 130. There's no age statement on the Stagg Jr. This bad boy is weighing in at 13 years and 7 months. Folks, I got to tell you, these are hitting shelves. They hit Raleigh, North Carolina recently, and it is delicious. I went ahead and got me a backup bottle. Typically, I like to do that for bourbons that I really enjoy. I try to get a backup bottle because I usually drink it with my buddies. Once I get it first, as you can see, we put a little damage to this one the other night. But folks, I got to tell you, this thing, it drinks so smooth. And the color is beautiful. It's that dark molasses. But, you know, it's amazing to me how much my palate has changed, and how just a couple of years ago I was more the 90 proof type of guy that liked my bourbon that way. This bad boy is checking in 133 proof. So this one has quickly moved up my list to my top rated bourbon. I've got quite a few in the background. I got some in my closet as well. Wellers, full proofs, all you name them. But this one, there's something about it. It was almost like a Milky Way Snickers bar flavor to it. It was sweetness, but it also had the heat on it. So if you're out and about, if you find this bottle, I'm telling you, for 80 bucks, this is the best bang for your buck that I have found in a bourbon. The George T. Staggs are going for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. I think this one is right in line with that type of bottle. I would rather have this over the Stag Junior, which is crazy because I love Stag Junior. So, to cheers to Thirsty Thursday. I'm going to take a chug of my favorite bourbon right here. So, that is so good. So, hey, look, thanks for following us. Have a great evening. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying our bourbon reviews. Subscribe, watch our videos, check us out, leave us some comments, and much love to all of you. Take care. See ya.